I'm Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by FriendsAtGameology.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less.
King's Armory, or The King's Armory. This is a cooperative tower defense game. So you have monsters coming in at one end, maybe two, depending on the map you choose. They're going to be moving around the board, and you have until they move into the tower to kill them. The tower has a certain defense, and the monsters are just going to hit for all of their attack once they get to the tower. You are heroes that are on these towers or on the trails, and you're trying to kill all the monsters before they get to the tower. You have 7 waves to get through, and each wave new monsters come out. Generally, yeah. So that is the very simplistic form of this game. So I'll just jump right in. Simplicity versus complexity.
This is easily the most complex game I've ever played in my entire life. I'll quote from a rulebook here. It says, something, 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 see diagram E1-1 on page 36 for details. I'm on page 20. Like, that's how it goes. This is a 62-page book, but there's a little section for explaining the theme and the lore. So it's 46 pages, and it is text dense, just all this text. And it, like, you would think when you look in the rulebook for area of effect, and it's not there, and you're trying to find it in the encyclopedia entries that they provided, and I can't find it. And it's because it's somewhere else. It's so complex. There are so many little tokens for everything. There are a ton of monsters that have, I'm not joking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 symbols on there for what they do and numbers that correspond, and they give you a little helper token that looks like this, and it's so small, and I can barely even see it. So when we played for like 4 hours, and we've played this multiple times, but the last time we played with several friends, we played for probably 4 hours. We didn't finish, and the majority of my time in the game was spent with my face like this. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. The majority of 4 hours was spent in the rulebook. This is so complex. There's no way around it.
Yes, this game is complex, and I'm going to single in on one thing to give you an example of how complex it is, and that is monster movement. Okay, so what happens is they come in on odd or even. You roll the dice. Easy enough. You roll a dice. And you say, okay, well, it's odd, so you put it odd. Okay, well, it's even. And depending on what you roll, you get a harder or easier monster. This little chart tells you that's easy enough. It's great. But then the ones that move first are the ones that are closest, or
to the armory,
or the ones that are closest to hero, and
then flying. Then lowest level monster.
Lowest level.
Then odd.
There's a whole thing you have to read.
Then red.
And they have to move in that order. And then on their actual movement, they have so many symbols. In the back of the rule book, there's just a chart of all the symbols, which is nice. I'm glad they have it. But then you have to find what that actually means.
I don't even know if that's all the symbols.
In the rule book. Well, no, it's just some of them. And the same thing is explained, or the same topic is explained in multiple places in the rule book, which makes it really hard. Because like Tom said, we needed area of effect, which was explained, but it didn't answer our question. Go 10 pages later, same area of effect rule explained differently. So I just wish they would have put them together in some way that made it easier. So this game is really complex. There's a lot going on. Like Tom mentioned, there's just a lot, and there's not much else I can say about that. Luck versus strategy. There's
a lot of strategy in this game. Are you going to stay on the towers? Who are you going to fight? Whose turn is it? In what order will you attack with your hirelings? Because there's a ton of little hirelings. Here's a bunch of archers, I think. I can barely pull it out. There's too much. So Molly's showing you. Thank you, Molly. But there's, besides all the strategy that obviously exists in this game, there's so much luck because these dice, you can get like a really good roll, and it has to be an 18, 19, or 20 for it to do any real damage. Other than that, even like a 16 or 17 is going to do 2, 3 damage. You're not hitting this person, and these monsters will get past you, and it's so luck dependent that even with the strategy that's clearly here, it was an unhealthy balance to me.
This game is so hard, which makes me think Tom is correct in the overbalance of the luck. That being said, you can mitigate it. There's a lot of things you can choose to do in between waves. Do you buy more hirelings, like Tom said? Do you buy more towers? Do you buy one of these cards that are really great? There's things you can do to help, and that matters. Which one of those things you do matters. But there is an abundance of luck, because you're rolling a d20, and you could roll a 1 or you could roll a 20, and anywhere in between. And these monsters are really hard to fight. So yes, and you're rolling the d20 to bring out the monsters too. So that also adds to the luck factor. Fun versus boring. This game is fun, really fun, but so challenging that it makes me hesitant to pull it out. We set it up, and we didn't even set up all of it to show you right now, mostly because you couldn't see all of it anyways, but there's so much going on. There's just so much. So that makes me give pause. There's so many pieces, so many bits. I think it's fun. I really like co-ops, though. So you're really dedicated to co-ops. And I feel like you can streamline it after playing with the same group of people 10 times. Maybe you might not have to go to the rulebook as often or ever. But until you get that down with the same group of people, it's going to be tough.
This game isn't any fun at all. It's so clear that the designer incorporated and basically ported over a tower defense game. But because of that, it lost all of its theme because it's too much like a computer. You have to read in what order things happen every single time, and if a monster is this close to a hero, can it do this? Who does it attack? Does it go for odds or evens? It's like reading a spreadsheet, but not a fun spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets, don't get me wrong, but it's not even a fun spreadsheet. It's like playing a spreadsheet that isn't fun at all. That is how I feel about this game. On the Board Game Geek rating system, I would give this a 3 for both design and fun. I don't ever want to play it, and I think the design lost something when it didn't abstract enough that you have to sit here and pretend like I am a computer trying to figure it out.
I'd give it a 5. Really, I want to give it like an 8 because I really enjoy it, but a 5.
For how much you want to play it? Or?
For how much I want to play it, because
okay.
It's just so tough.
Because you just said you really enjoy it.
Yeah, but it's just so tough that I don't ever pull it out. Yeah. King's Armory. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.